Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Thriving Thursday. As of right now, we've got 43 participants on the line. Make sure that you reach out to your team. We do not want any ICMs left behind. Wanda is our trainer today, and she is such an amazing individual. I really love the way that she shares personal development and mindset training and links it to our business. And she does a very wonderful job with that. So I'm looking forward to what she's got to share with us today. Some of Wanda's background: she was born in Puerto Rico and has earned herself 2 master's degrees despite many life challenges. In her career, she succeeded in many ways, but was only exceeding to an extent where she would hit a ceiling every time she attempted to go higher. I think a lot of us can relate when we've been in the W-2 world. Wanda spent most of her time trading hours for dollars, and on the side, she was always looking for different business opportunities and had never really accomplished much in the business world. But she knew that she had an entrepreneurial spirit, and that really shows when she found Renatus, because, I mean, she's been so successful in many different ways with Renatus. So it was about 3 years ago that Wanda found Renatus, and she has now exceeded her income goals in less time and effort. In her first 8 months alone, she earned 6 figures and has continued to do so each year after. Wanda has completed around 20 real estate transactions. She is on the PIT team, meaning she's in training to be on the PAC, the President's Advisory Council. She's built herself a large team of entrepreneurs, which allows them to succeed as she has. Because of her choice to become a real estate investor, her future is now brighter, and great things are to come in the years ahead. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to share. Wanda, good morning.
Good morning, Keely. Thank you so much for that introduction. It's always beautiful to hear you talking about me. I don't like to necessarily talk about me, but yeah. But thank you so much for everything that you do to make these meetings enjoyable and organized and amazing. So thank you, and thank you all the participants for being here. Right now we have about 45 people on the line, and I'm just so happy to be able to share with you some of the knowledge that I have acquired on my personal development and my business, and combining the two. One of the things that I figured at the beginning, I was just doing, but I'm like, if I have the tools and I have the knowledge, but I don't have my mindset where it needs to be, I may not reach these goals because my brain doesn't necessarily associate with the goals or the dreams that I have, okay? And meaning that, like Woody says, you have to reassociate your brain. You have to reassociate the things that you believe to make it in a different way. Like some of you have different relationship with money. And I have an experience. Last year, I was coaching with one of the guys, with one mentor, and he said one day, hey, this year you will have 25 properties. And literally, my body began to crumble, like I panicked. And he was over the phone, but I was like, I wanted to throw up. I wanted, all these emotions in my body. So my body began to react to that notion that I could have had 25 deals or properties in a year. What happened is that my brain didn't believe it, okay? And I still probably didn't believe it. I haven't done it yet, like in 1 year, having that many properties. So, or even for buy and hold or something, I'm still working on many of those strategies to begin to create the wealth that I want for retirement. However, the brain did something to my body that when I started talking to him and I said, you know what, I'm getting sick. You mentioned that number and I'm getting sick. So you start reacting, you start looking at those symptoms that your body is experiencing, and you said, what triggered that emotion on my body? And when you figure it out, it's like, oh, my relationship with money is not where it needs to be to accomplish these dreams. So, and that is what Woody in his training talks about reassociation. I don't know if many of you have remembered that he says the story about this noise. Somebody's sleeping in the middle of the night and heard this big noise, and then suddenly they wake up like thinking there's a person entering the house or a robbery or something. And then they go look, and it's just a cat going through the garbage or whatever, so they made these noises. And the person sleepily, nicely can go back to sleeping and be fine after that. Why? Because the association, the first noise just triggered in their brain somebody entering the house to rob the house or whatever. But when they go and look, the reassociation came back and oh, it's just a cat, so nothing is going to happen. So the same thing, it happens in our lives. When I was coaching with Woody in a one-on-one basis, we went and did some breakthrough, of limiting beliefs. So sometimes you have limited beliefs. You have limited belief with your relationship with money. For example, oh, money is evil. Or oh, people who are rich and wealthy are bad people. Things like that may be in your brain that you don't understand why they're there. Maybe they were things that you heard in church or in the Bible, or you read it, or your family are having this relationship with money. Oh, we don't have enough, or things like that. And you have to begin identify those limited beliefs and reassociate them. So yesterday in the mastermind that Woody gave us 7 steps to do the reassociation. And I asked him if I can share this with you, and he gave me permission. But I'm going to give you an example as I go through the steps, so you can also begin to identify what are your limited beliefs that doesn't allow you to progress in your business. There has to be something there. For instance, the other day, and there's limited beliefs all the time. I have gone through breakthroughs in this past year with a lot of limited beliefs, and I have overcome those by changing and reassociating my beliefs. However, every time I discover something new. This past week, when I was putting together my presentation for Super Saturday, I was identifying the different type of people that you see. You see family, you see friends, you see acquaintance, and you see strangers. And all of those are the components of people in the world, right? So you can categorize them on those categories, 4 categories. But when it comes to strangers, I'm like, oh, what is the belief that I have with strangers? I don't like to really talk to strangers. Oh, because in my brain, that little girl, that Wanda, think like, oh, it's not good to talk to strangers, because that's what mom tells you, right? And then that is in your brain. And when you have to pick up the phone to talk to a stranger, a new lead, a call market, you don't pick up the phone. The phone weighs like 100 pounds or something, because you have that in your brain. So I have to find a way now to reassociate. And that one just came through my mind recently. I'm like, why? I don't really like to talk to call market. Oh, my brain is thinking, those are strangers, and I cannot talk to strangers. So the other thing is, I'm going to share something on my screen. So let me go find my document. And Kelly, I appreciate if you see any question or something coming through. I'd love for you to tell me. So start broadcasting. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right. So I had all these. This is a recipe for reassociation. And we put this together. There are 7 questions, and I'm going to go through these 7 questions in which you can find a limited belief that you have in your brain, whether it's a relationship with money, whether it's something that you cannot talk to cold market. You cannot talk to your friends or family because, hey, your brain thinks that you're going to be bugging them, and that's why it's hard for you to tell a story. It's hard for you to really reach out and find the people because you have this limited belief. So you will have to identify that. But I'm going to go through this exercise and answering these questions with a personal experience and a limited belief that I had for many, many years since I was probably born. So the first thing is, what was your original association? And today I wear my curly hair, okay? And for many, many years, when I was growing up here in Puerto Rico, this is bad hair, okay? So you imagine me 4, 5 years old or something, going to school, and everybody said that curly hair is bad hair. So I grew up with that, okay? Bad hair. So I have a bad hair. Who wants to have something bad? Especially hair, nobody, right? So anyway, Bill, especially Bill Peredon, he doesn't have hair, but Bill, that was a joke. Anyway, so this is my original association, that my hair is bad because this is the culture over here. All right. So then let's go to the next question. What have been the negative supporting experience? The negative supporting experience is that for many years I wore and I had a lot of different products to straighten my hair. Okay, and people bug me, like I was teased in school, oh, bad hair, whatever, you know. And in top of that, I had glasses, so it was like, you know, 4 eyes, and, you know, things like that. People are cruel in school, right? So all of that is coming to my brain and absorbing that in my brain every day. Then the next question is, what has been the outcome of this association? So the association for me, for having this bad hair, is that I wasn't pretty enough. I, you know, I have to change my hair and have it straight to look better. Then the next question, number 4, what new belief through or action, no, what new belief, thought or action could have to happen to liberate you? It took me, let me see, I started coaching with Woody in a one-on-one last year. So that means I was about 55, 56 years old, meaning that it took me all that to realize that I needed to reassociate that belief. So Woody also talked about belief, truth and belief versus belief, truth versus belief. Is that true that I have a bad hair? I'm like, well, that was what was put into my brain, that is the norm. But then he started to tell me, oh, Wanda, people in Africa, people, you know, in other cultures appreciate the curly hair. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I start realizing, sure. So it's just what happens to liberate. But then this went deeper, deeper, deeper into my soul when I went to Bali last year to have a personal development retreat. And I had my blower because I normally use my blow dryer. I have my flat iron. I have everything. I brought my converter because the electricity over there is different and so on. And I was just ready, you know, to keep my hair straight, because even though I have worked with Woody on accepting my hair, it has no really deep dive into my brain. And when I was in Bali, nothing worked. So I could not turn on my hair dryer. I couldn't turn on my flat iron. I couldn't do anything. I had to have it natural, okay? And it took me a little bit to get it natural. And I had to go through this breakthrough. And at the end, over there in Bali, people leave offers in the streets or anywhere. So when I left my room, when we were checked out of the room, I left all my hair products over there. And I started to reassociate the fact that I had this in my brain, that my hair was bad. So the next item, it says, give yourself permission to accept the new belief, regardless of how it might impact others. And that is what I had to do over there in Bali. I had another experience because, okay, I couldn't do anything to put it straight. So I have to keep for 7 days, my hair in curly mode. And I went to the beach on one occasion and I had a ponytail. So even though, you know, I tried to straighten it as much as possible in a ponytail fashion, and I was just laying I went to the beach and I was inside the water and everything, and I just was floating. And suddenly my tide went off my hair. I stand up and I'm looking, nobody was near me for no reason. So nobody had pulled it off. I don't know how the nature or the universe pulled it off, and I couldn't find it at all. It's just disappeared out of the world. It's honestly like the whole water just took it. So I had to let it be like in a straight mode like I have it right now. So basically, when I left Bali, one of the things that I did is went through these stages on 5, 6, and 7. Forgive yourself for having your original association. So I'm like, for many years I spent products and money on this hair. I'm trying to make it straight. And I needed to create a new association, create an emotional mantra to anchor your new belief. So when I left there, I said, you know, my hair is not bad. My hair is actually so good that if I choose to, I can have it curly whenever I want. Or if I choose to, I can straighten it and look however I want. So I now accept the fact that I can have it curly if I choose to, and I can have it straight. See, I straighten my band only today just to demonstrate this if I choose to. Or I can have both.
Did we just lose your video? I mean, your audio?
We cannot hear you, Wanda.
Keely, can you let Wanda know that her audio is off?
I am reaching out to to Wanda right now, and hopefully we'll get back to her in just a second.
Would somebody tell me what the second question was, please?
Let me go back. I took a screenshot. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'll do my best.
Thanks, I appreciate that. It's like what
Oh
have
my
been your.
goodness. So I was disconnected. Oh, hello. I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Wanda. Thank you.
Where was the last thing you heard?
You were going about forgive yourself for having your original association.
Oh, good. Okay, so I was back.
Whoops.
Oops. Okay, so let me see if I can share my screen again. That's probably what happened on my screen when I was sharing my screen. But okay, so my original association, let me see. I hope that I don't get disconnected. I'm so sorry about this. Screen, let me share with you the screen again. Thank you so much, Jeremy. I just saw Jeremy's text coming through. I'm like, oh my goodness, something is happening. So, all right, so let me share this again. All right, so I was going through the questions, and the last one that you still hearing me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, and then the last ones are like, give yourself permission to accept the new belief regarding of how it might impact others. And in that moment, did you hear the story about Bali? When I was like in the beach and I lost my ponytail?
Yes.
Okay, and then so forgive yourself for having your original association. In that moment when I left Bali and everything, I needed to say, you know what, it's okay. It's okay for me to have this hair like this. And guys, it took me 55, 56 years to realize it. And it was so liberating to say, hey, you know, I have to create a new mantra. And that mantra is, my hair is so good that I can have it curly if I choose to, or I can have it straight if I want to. So that's why I put this hair today. You know, I would say, okay, I'm going to show this. My hair is not bad. It's so good that I can choose how I want it. And I can feel comfortable curly or straight or both, you know, curly and straight. So you see, it goes straight really fast. So I created that reassociation. Now I've liberated all of that emotion. And it came back to the fact that in my reassociation also now with like to the properties. Can I have a handle having 25 properties in my portfolio at once in a year? I'm still working with that one. It hasn't come through yet. I'm going through these steps. But yesterday when Woody presented all of these, I'm like, wow. And I asked permission for him to share, if I could share these 7 items with you. And the beauty is that I believe that sometimes we just have realizations on things and we figured out the system to fix it. And that's why we go through these emotions. So I'm like, okay, and he actually used my example of my hair because he have been coaching with me. So when he did the training, he used my example. And it's just, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna share this with you because right now what I want is for you to find something in your life related to your business, okay? Like for example, when I'm gonna start working on this one because I'm like, I don't wanna talk to cold market. I don't want to call a stranger. I don't want to talk to somebody I don't know. And it's because in my brain, I'm pretty sure when I was little, you know, your parents tells you, don't talk to strangers, you know, stay away from strangers, don't take anything from strangers. So maybe that is still ingrained right there and I need to reassociate that beliefs and make it a new reality. Oh, strangers can give me value. I can be valuable for others, for people who I don't know. And if I start reassociating that, then I will be able to pick up the phone, even that sometimes it feels like it's 100 pounds to pick it up and talk to somebody who I don't know, somebody who liked my website or liked my comments, and I start texting them. So those are beliefs. So I want to go over the questions again, and then I'm going to give you time to somebody to participate in this structure is see if you have found a limited belief that you want to break through using these questions. And then you're going to do this constantly. Keep these questions alive near you. So every time you feel like, oh, and you're going to feel these emotions in your body, like, oh, you get nervous, you get anxiety, or you have frustrations, you start thinking, what is the trigger that is giving me these emotions in my body? And you go through this question. What was your original association? What has been the negative supporting experiences? What has been the outcome of this association? What new belief, thoughts, action would have to happen to liberate you? Give yourself permission to accept the new belief regardless of how it might impact others. Forgive yourself for having your original association. Create an emotional mantra to anchor the new belief. So take a screenshot of these are questions from 1 through 3. 1 through 3. And now here are the questions 1 through 6, 4 through 6. Oops, hold on. 4 through 6. Take a screenshot. And here is 7. Take a screenshot. All right, so guys, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Let me see if I can go back to Zoom. All right, so how do you feel on trying to figure out an emotion or a belief that you want to break through? I know that I have 45 participants on the line, and I want to help someone to go through this. Anybody have a belief, something that is related to your business that you think, oh my goodness, this is not working because I don't feel comfortable thinking that I'm going to be able to make 6-figure income. And that's probably something that you have in your brain that is not allowing you to really dream bigger of what you are doing right now. So who would like to share?
Wanda, hi, it's Sandra in South Florida.
Hey, Sandra, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So grateful for you today. You know, I can't say that I talk to myself in a negative way about money, but I have to say that there has to be some kind of crazy block in my head because I've really had challenges. Somehow money comes and it goes, and I can't quite figure out how I can not accumulate it. And I was much better about it before I got married 10 years ago, but oh my gosh, these last 10 years have been such a wacky financial struggle. All the more reason. And now, you know, being an EPX and wanting to dramatically grow the business when I have the tools and all this wonderful training, I just can't figure out what my subconscious is saying to myself. And I know it sounds crazy, but I think my mother gave me a curse years ago. She said something about, I know you're going to piss away all this money that I left you. And that actually came to fruition. And so now I've been trying to go back and rebuild. And I'm baffled.
Yeah, and I want you to, and I hope that this is okay with you. I'm going to ask permission for me to ask you questions and put you on the spot. It's like in the hot seat, right? And
it's okay. I raised my hand. I raised my hand for this.
Right.
So absolutely.
So anything that I ask you, I don't want you to think that I'm doing it in a bad way. But as you continue, as I listen to you explaining me this belief, you use some words, and remember Michael Hogan said this in a leadership retreat, what words have meaning. Actually, everything that you say, the way you say it, that's how it's coming. And that's how your brain is gonna see it. So if you think I'm walking with money, that's how you are, walking, the word that you use with money. Okay. My mother told me this, and that came to fruition. If you continue saying that, that's what is going to happen. Because your brain is accepting that as the norm. Now let's reassociate that. What is the new mantra and the new reassociation that you can put into your brain, which is like affirmative affirmations, right? So what is your new affirmation? What is the new mantra? What is the new sentence that you're going to put in your brain to improve that relationship with money?
In the process of helping people, money comes to me.
Very good.
Money, my prosperity is a result of my generosity.
Very well.
My willingness to help others will create a financial reward.
Excellent. So you have created 3 new mantras, right? But the fact now is that everything that you said have to have a feeling associated with. If you record yourself, this is being recorded, so go back and listen to this piece when you are saying those sentences. And yourself is going to analyze whether you actually believe that or not. I did this exercise once with my coaching, and my coach wanted me to create my affirmations and record it, my affirmations.
Great idea.
And hey, I put music behind, I recorded it, and but when I listened to myself, I didn't even believe it. The way it sounded, I'm like, I don't even believe that. So not until you really say it that you believe it, it's not going to happen. Your brain is going to say, really, Sandra? No, you're walking with money. Because your brain wants to protect you and keep you in that comfort zone. It doesn't want to expand the comfort zone to a new belief. Okay, so it's going to take a lot of work. It's not just saying it. You need to put a feeling and associate that feeling to that sentence. Like when my coach told me that I will, this year I will have 25 properties, I have the feeling of even throwing up and getting sick. That's the feeling, see? I'm not gonna believe that until that feeling changes. So your feeling is more important when it comes to the belief. So if I believe I'm gonna get out of debt, oh my gosh. So saying it is not enough. I need to feel it. Oh, how does it feel when you receive money? Oh, it feels so liberating. It feels so good. So you feel it. You put a feeling into it. That makes sense?
I got it. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so it's not just saying it. You have to put a feeling onto it.
Well, just like with the drive, when Woody says, what is it that makes you feel most important?
Yes.
So I guess our whole body, every cell in our body has to get it so that we can manifest it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Anybody else would like to participate and be in the hot seat? Who would like to be in the hot seat next?
Wanda,
few more minutes. Who's this?
This is Amy.
Amy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. So I have a really hard time with contacting my warm market. I don't want to bug them, kind of like you brought up earlier.
Oh. What makes you feel that you're bugging them?
I don't know. I think a lot of my childhood, I'm a director validator.
Uh-huh.
And I'm the one extrovert in my completely introverted family, so I was often told to be quiet, to stop drawing attention to myself, to, you know, don't bug people, don't,
Yes.
you know.
So is that a belief or is that a truth? Are you bugging them when you calling them or when you're going to share your excitement? Is that a truth or a belief?
It feels like a truth, but it's probably a belief.
It's a belief, right? It's like my hair. It felt like a truth that hair is bad, that curly hair is bad hair.
Yeah,
that felt like my truth. Okay. But it's not truth. It's not the truth. Maybe you, all of you over there, are saying, "Oh my goodness, you have such a beautiful hair. It's curly." And some of you need to pay so much money to get it curly. I don't have to pay money to get it curly. I just wear it.
Right. That's
right?
how much. Yep, I totally get that one.
And some people don't have that luxury that can put it. It's just always straight. You cannot put it curly, and I can put it straight or curly. See, so I have to put emotions into that to believe it, to feel good about it. Oh my goodness, I really look cute. It doesn't matter with my curly hair. Oh, if I put my straight, it looks good. So when you are talking to your family, oh, I'm going to add value to them. But what I normally do with family and friends, I don't impose it. I'm just excited. I put this big emotion. Oh, I'm doing so great. And this is what I'm sharing with you. This is what I'm doing. And the excitement just come across and they want what I want. Because if you are excited and happy, don't people want what you have?
Yeah.
When you share light, I want you light. I want your excitement. And that's why, how your sister and brother-in-law convince you?
I don't know. They're good at being excited too, but we just talked about it all the time.
Do you think they bought when they came to you?
Sorry, what? You broke up a little bit.
Did they bug?
No, they didn't bug me at all. I was really excited.
You were excited, right? So they were not bugging you. So imagine, okay, they were my sister and my brother-in-law. They came to me, I'm family. They didn't bug me. So why do I think I'm gonna bug my cousins or my aunts and uncles or my mom and dad? Right. You see? So that's the reassociation right there. Oh, I'm bugging my friends and family if I talk to them.
Yeah, but it's more like if I call them, I'm bugging them.
Yeah, but don't call them like with the intention of talk to the business all the time. I will say, I will use like kind of a backdoor approach and invite them to a dinner or invite them to something. And then you put the conversation with excitement. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm just learning all of this stuff. And maybe, I don't know if you're in a deal or haven't have a deal yet, but I know that Levi had a deal. So, oh my goodness, my sister and my brother-in-law has a deal. And let me show you. Remember, another thing that we learn in Woody's Drive is show, don't tell. Ask, don't tell. Okay? I'm practicing this too. This is a skill that we all have to develop. So show, don't tell. So instead of saying, oh, sit down over here, let me tell you everything about my Renato's education, you show them. Yesterday I was doing a Zoom and I'm like, show, don't tell, because when I feel like I'm talking too much, I'm like, show, don't tell. So let me to my back office and show you how this is organized. And especially because this person, so I had to show this system. So I took her to the back office and show how the classes are organized. And she was taking notes. I'm taking notes. I'm like intellectual. So you see the association. a reassociation. So if belief then bug you, create that reassociation. I hope this helps you.
Okay. Thank you.
And do it in a different setting, you know, invite them for dinner, just talk about it like in a different way. Like they see your happiness, your excitement, and they want what you have. Sometimes I just do fix and flip and everything. And I'm like, people, oh my goodness, I want to do that. Oh, let me show you how you can do it. Okay. Awesome. Anybody else? I think we have time for one more person. Thank you so much. One more person. Anybody wants to kind of find a reassociation related to your belief and your business?
Hello?
Yes.
Wanda,
Hilda?
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, something.
I cannot hear you.
You can't.
You in and out.
Okay, let me. Is that better?
Yes, this is much better.
Okay. Yeah, I'm using two monitors. That's probably why I'm away from my speaker.
Okay.
So, but anyway, what I was saying was before you even said something today, I was gonna say, oh, I love your hair. It's so full. I like, yeah, I do. I love, you look so pretty in it. So don't feel bad because it is really pretty.
Thank
so
you.
I have
that belief is gone. That belief is
right.
gone.
That's great. Yeah. I used to have, my grandmother used to have really nice curly hair, kind of like, yours. Hers more like a little bit finer. And I used to play with, I still remember that because she would comb my hair and she would do something with my hair. And then I would, touch her hair. And because I like your hair because I have straight hair. And it's like, I like your hair. It's like all this curly because I thought it was such a great design. You know what I mean? I thought so incredible. But yeah, it's so pretty and you look pretty. So
thank you.
Yeah. So here's my my dilemma. I know I've asked you this before when you were in Chicago, also, and even on Michael, one of the trainings, because I've been working on, my affirmation, and I've read this book that you told me, the power of your subconscious, mind. So I've been working on putting that, and I've read, a lot of other ones, or listen. That's what I do with the Audible. I love Audible. And so I've been, I know it's almost like I say it, like, for instance, I use this because I like this line that Michael said, money comes to me every day easily, something. So I even said, I kind of added, like, money comes to me easily every day, like even in avalanche of abundance, so I do that, and I, repeat that. And just, to give an example, now I feel like I feel it, but then maybe it's just the manifestation of it. It just takes time. So I don't understand what I'm not understanding is, I think, in myself, I think I feel it, but then how much feeling do I have to be able to come it into reality? And I think that's and I get so frustrated because I said, well, I hear Michael Haggins, I feel, Dane, which is, you guys, give this great training and I love it. And, and I apply it to myself, and I'm like, and I get so frustrated because I said, I know I feel like I feel it, but okay, so how do I feel that is, you know what I mean?
I feel it, but I don't see it.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
And I hear you. Because the other day I had the same question. I'm like, okay, I have all this affirmation. It's written on my mirror everywhere and so on. But when am I going to see it? And the thing is that your brain really, really knows whether you really, really, really feeling it, whether you really, really, really believe it. So you, in a conscious level, you may think you feeling it, and you may think you are believing it. But in the unconscious level, your brain is not believing it. So the best way to do it is like the exercise that I did. Record yourself saying it, and go back and listen to see if you really believe what you're saying.
I've done that.
Because the tone, the tone, I was incredible, and it sounded so nice. I showed it to some of my friends because we were doing, kind of a group coaching, and I'm like, oh, listen to my recording, and it sounded good. But me, I personally was listening to it, and I'm like, Wanda, you don't even believe that. So do it, record it, but go back and listen to it.
Yeah,
and see the feeling. See if the words when you express it has that feeling. If that comes across in the recording. And then you can play it again and play it again and play it again, and your brain is going to start believing it. But it takes time. This is not an overnight thing. Remember, my original belief for my hair, that my hair is that because it's curly, I had it engraved in my brain from the time that I remember, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And it took me about 51, 52 years to learn about these things. So it's hard for my brain to say, oh, now you think it's going to be a good hair? It took me 1 whole year to try to believe it, but I wasn't believing it really, because I just continued to make it straight until the first reassociation I did was like, oh no, my hair is good. That's a belief. That's not a truth. Although when I told my brother this, my brother said, Wanda, that's the truth, okay? but in reality, it took me my trip to Bali to say, and everything that happened at the beach and when I was floating and all of that, and then giving up myself, giving up my products, giving up my things that I used to straighten my hair, to realize. And then I didn't say, oh, because I still like my straight hair. So my association wasn't, oh, my curly hair is that. No. My hair is so good that I can have it any way I want. I can have it curly, or I can have it straight, or I can have it both, like I have it today. However, but it's how I feel. Now I feel confident. If I get out of the door or somebody sees me with my curly hair, it's okay. This is my hair. That's how God created me, and I'm accepting it. But it took me a lot of work. So guys, this is something to work on it. I have to jump into my pit call. I appreciate you. I hope that this helped you. I don't know if we have any questions in the chat room. Let me see.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Wanda.
Thank you so much, Hilda, for your participation.
Yeah, sure. When are you coming back to the States?
I know us. We are locked down in here, and I don't know when this is going to stop, but one of these days I should show up.
Well, you're going to come back when the lockdown is done?
I may. Okay. I have to go visit.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I will post this. Yeah, somebody asked me if we can post it on the Facebook group. Yes, I will post those 7 questions so you can work in your reassociations. And remember, you can have so many things. It's not only one. My example about the hair is one thing, but there's every day, your brain is full of belief. And some of those beliefs are stopping you from progressing. You have to define them, you have to reassociate them, and create a new mantra, create a new association. Talk to you later, guys. I love you all, and I will post this on the chat. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Wanda. Really appreciate you and everything that you put in here.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bye-bye.